At Capella University, education is as smart as the world around us. With the FlexPath format, you can take classes at your own pace, set your own deadlines, and even leverage your previous experience to move faster. Now that's smart. Learn more at capella.edu.
Right Night is a talk show with published authors, writers, and content creators discussing both the creative and technical sides of writing, as well as the industry surrounding it, from novels to screenplays to comics and more. And now, here's your host, author Travis I. Sivart.
Well, good evening and welcome to Travis Tavern Talk Right Night. I am your host. I forgot my hat. There, I feel better now. Oh, and I got my whiskey and I got my cigar and let's see. I have an order I wanted to do things in. So let me get my shit together here and say, hey, I am Travis Sivart. I am the host. I am also author of books such as Silver and Smith and the Jazir's Light. Book 2 should be coming out in a few months. That is an action adventure in the near future. So if you imagine a world where nanotechnology and genetic modification are changing the human species as we know it, climate change has changed the whole world, and now toss in a dash of Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean with mystical artifacts and archaeology, we've got Silver and Smith. An amazing duo with surprise cameos from Croker Norge.
Oh.
Yeah, good times. Now, let's see here. All right. Tonight's show, we're going to be doing episode 19 of Right Night. We're going to discuss collective nouns, and we'll get to that in a few moments here. I do want to let people know a few of the ground rules, and then we'll introduce the co-host here. When you hear this noise, it means I want to read something off chat. Now, I might read something without dinging the bell, but dinging the bell means time to read off chat. By the way, just for everybody in chat, just, we are recording a podcast, and you are our live chat audience, and everybody listening on podcasts that you can find on Spreaker, or just Google Right Night Podcast. You'll find it across the board on all the big ones. We're doing this live with an audience who are interacting with us. So you're going to hear sound effects. You're going to hear us replying to them, asking their questions, thanking them for their support as they tip, cheer, and so on. I think that's the disclaimer. Yeah, I think we're good with that. Now, let's do
Sounds good.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, since Michael is so chit-chatty, let's let him introduce himself first.
Where to go? Hey, everybody. My name is Michael Thompson. I'm an independent author and illustrator. One of my books is World of the Orb. It's a portal fantasy adventure about two best pals on a field trip to the Museum of Natural History who sneak away from the group and break the one rule, which is not to go in the artifact room and definitely not to touch the orb. When they do, they're zapped and cast headlong into an alternate world of monsters, myths, and magic that sets them on an epic, harrowing treasure hunt to find Earth again. There's a big emphasis on cool mythical creatures and fantasy creatures of my own creation in this book, and collective nouns came in big handy researching those when I was writing it, so I'm excited to talk about that experience.
I tell you what, as much as I love fantasy, one thing I really loved about that book, Michael, is the clean, fresh look from a younger view of fantasy. Because so much fantasy we get now is so bogged down with politics and this and that and drama. It was nice just to have an adventure, an exciting adventure. Absolutely. Now,
thank you.
Our other co-host in the upper left-hand corner of your guys' screen, we have Aaron Maximilian. It is Maximilian, right? Max?
No, he's shaking his head.
Maxwell?
Maxwell.
Max 1,000?
Kennedy.
Maximilian?
Hi, I'm Aaron Maxwell Kennedy, PhD candidate, technical writer for 25 years, and author of Persona Non Grata, first of the Ships of Valor series, space adventure, in the old style of pulp, somewhere between Harry Harrison and Robert Heinlein.
Yeah, take it back to the classics, and I'll tell you, Aaron, since I'm doing this, the thing I loved about your book is something one of your reviewers complained about. I loved the cat. Because the cat only shows up when the main character goes home. And the main character isn't necessarily in his quarters a whole lot. But you have this piece of everyday nostalgia that kind of everybody can relate to about that coming home to your pet thing. No matter what else you do, you have that waiting for you. And it has some very cat-like actions that we all kind of just immediately connect with the character through that pet. And I think that was well done, and to hell with what the other person said.
The demand for cheese.
Oh, the cat's demand for cheese. I thought you meant the readers, because I love cheese.
That too. They do love cheese. So do cats.
You get a free
cats.
craft single with every book.
It
get
a better
the
cheese.
bookmark until you get hungry.
Read it fast.
Bookmark. It's okay. So other than that, I want to remind everybody, instead of shouting out the merchandise for the show, that you can now see as we're doing the live stream, you can see it in the lower right-hand corner with the command. If you type !merch, it will pop that up on the screen. But instead of that, I want to remind everybody, you can get each of our books on Amazon, on our personal websites, on various places. So, in the live
Please
chat...
do.
Yeah, absolutely. As my other half pointed out, the money I make off books supports my pets. And we have one with asthma. It keeps him in asthma medicine. It makes sure that my cat continues to breathe. For only 7 cents a day, you too can save an American short hair. Whatever. So yeah, the point is, you can find our books, grab our books, and throw a review up there. Don't forget, those reviews make a huge difference to us. Hey, look who it is. If it ain't Spacey Tracy. Hey, I got something right here. Throwing her bits around. Let me show you this, Tracy. There's a personalized shout out right to... Hold on. I don't know the command's broken. I tried to do something special for the folks. There it is. Because,
Oh, cool.
Tracy has been with us for 11 months, which means more than a Twitch baby. Because we stream on twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk. And I'd like to show a little love back to the people that have supported us for longer than it takes to gestate a new life that then drains you for the next 20 years. Not you, Michael. I don't mean you, of course.
No offense.
Let's just move on from this. Okay, so tonight's topic, because we did all the other things, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I guess, yeah. I want to mention our other podcasts here at Travis Tavern Talk. You can catch this one every Saturday night live. Live every Saturday night. I really got to remember to do it that way. Sundays, we have Stealing for Survival, where we play Dungeons & Dragons in the same world I write my Portal series in and my Downfall series in. And then Mondays, Talk of the Tavern, where we're horribly inappropriate but terribly fun with toast, tangents, and topics. And each of those are also podcasts. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the topic. Collective nouns. This is a single word that embodies, defines a group or gathering of a certain species. So, for example, some of the common ones, a herd of cows, a pack of wolves. We all know these, a flock of birds. These are all familiar terms that we all use every day, but there are some fun ones or odd ones out there. Mm-hmm. Let me just throw a wrench in the works right away. Does anybody know what you call... No, I know that one. Hold on, let me move on to something else. Oh, this is a fun one. Penguins. What do you call a group of penguins?
Oh, I feel like I've heard this before.
Penguins? It would be a wedding because they're all wearing tuxedos.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, honestly.
I've always said a shitload of penguins, but I think that might be less than right.
A waddle of penguins.
That would be great. I know Michael is looking up. He was kind enough to grab a reference point for us to play with tonight.
I've got a cheat sheet if we need it or need a quick encyclopedia search.
It might be the time for that. And
okay, penguin. Oh, I got it. There's a few.
Tracy says a raft
want-
of penguins. Yeah, go and rattle them off.
Ooh, okay. Let's look at this. We have a colony,
Uh-huh.
a creche. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah,
A
creche.
huddle, a parcel, and a rookery.
Interesting. I
Those
love
are good ones.
alliteration in collective nouns, by the way.
Well, no,
Yes.
like a rookery. Friggin'
Uh-huh.
when you're playing chess, you've got the rook. It's shaped like a castle
Oh.
because that's where the rookery was.
Right.
Oh.
And that's where you kept the rook, which is a term for your messenger
penguins.
birds. Yes. It's where you would carry. It's where you kept your messenger penguins in the top of the tower.
Messenger penguins, yeah. in the great kingdoms
small
of
flightless
Antarctica.
birds.
Sliding on their bellies. That's
Down,
cool.
hey,
I quite like that one. Parcel is good too for the alliteration, like you said.
well, that's snakes because you have parcel tongue.
Oh, interesting. I see parcel appearing in a few places. Parcel can also refer to deer,
Really?
but there's also a bevy, a leash, and a herd.
So let's
Yes,
do
because
this.
we all put leashes on our deer.
A responsible deer owner does.
Yeah, that's right. Walk your deer. Only go at the crossings.
Yeah, don't go near any bright lights.
Now, strangely enough, deer are colorblind, but they can see into the UV spectrum. So, friggin' the deer. A lot of modern headlights have got the small fog lights that will also have a UV setting on them, so that it just scares deer away. It brights up the thing.
What a
Oh.
brilliant innovation.
That's also why we don't let them have rifles at night, because they could just pick us off.
The deers when they
Yeah, they don't
finally
need night vision
mobilize.
goggles. They're just like, I see you. Yeah, you never think a
The
deer
hunter
talks with that
come
voice, but
hunt.
yeah, that's her natural
Well,
voice.
Well, I mean, that goes back into kind of the old D&D game days where you had infravision. You saw
Right.
slightly better into the infrared spectrum.
Oh.
Cats actually have that ability. Like, friggin' urine, specifically rat urine, glows to a cat's eyes.
Oh, no way.
Mhm.
Speaking of cats, what is I've seen a few names for groups of cats.
Can I
And
interrupt?
this is-
Can I interrupt real quick? I'm just
Mhm.
imagining Catwoman freaking out every time she turns the lights out in a hotel room. just like a CSI episode with that new guy where they hit it with the UV light and he's just like, oh god, it's everywhere.
Selena, why do you sleep with the lights on?
That's why cats nap all day long. Oh, anyhow, okay. Michael, a group of cats, you were saying?
Yes. I feel like you guys know this one, being
I feel
that
like
this is a
Aaron
channel of
owns
cats.
this
and-
one.
As do I. It is a fuckery. Because you can always walk into a group of cats and go, what fuckery is going on here?
But besides that, Aaron has another one that he likes to educate
Clowder.
people.
Yes, Clowder. I'm a member of Clowder Consultants. Because we're consultants, because it's like herding cats.
Okay.
True story. So's running a podcast.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I quite
what has
enjoy it.
whales got to do with anything?
There we go. Well done there, Aaron. And that's our show tonight, guys. Have a great one.
Whoa.
Let's end on top.
We're going to go all whales all the time.
Wow, that's... I don't know. Can I even say this joke? I probably shouldn't anymore.
Go for it. Go
No,
for it. Go
no,
for
moving
it.
on.
You're yelling off the air.
Totally moving on.
Okay.
Aw, you can do anything you want on your last
So
day.
where does the word where does the word clowder come from, by the way? What's the root of clowder?
Okay. So the former king of Spain had a lisp, okay, but he liked chowder made out of cats.
And that's our show. Oh, that's.
I'm so torn between moving past this joke and trying to do the voice. And again, we're in a just in case somebody's listening to this years down the road, it is October 17th, 2020 when we're recording this, and we have hit a very special era where we're all very...
This holiday season, we all wish for hope and healing. Children and families who spend their holidays at the hospital deserve a reason to believe in first steps, in giggles, high fives, and hugs. For 150 years, Children's National Hospital has provided world-class care and groundbreaking research. Please donate today to help patients and healthcare heroes this holiday season. Visit childrensnational.org/holiday. That's childrensnational.org/holiday.
And I had sensitivity training this week at work too, and I always feel guilty after sensitivity training because
Aaron will be good. Aaron will be good.
It's
Like a good Catholic, you feel that way.
Yeah, I get this sensitivity training, and then I think about all the things I said that day alone, not even counting the previous week or months.
That morning.
It's yeah, I'm just like, oh wow, I feel like I need to go to apologize to everybody I work with at this point.
Now, just so you know, mine was not an insensitive joke. It was a historical joke. The actual King of Spain did have a lisp. That's why freaking Castilian Spanish has a slight lispy sound to it.
Bullshit or not? You decide.
No, not bullshit. Absolutely true.
It's like that
Although,
one King of Spain
whoever put an
invented
S
the
in
whole
lisp
language.
Is a real asshole.
What's that?
Whoever put an S in lisp is a real asshole.
I think you meant asshole.
Asshole.
Hey, I guess if you swear with a lisp, it's no longer swearing.
Here's one I quite like.
Good
Okay.
segue.
What you
Go,
got?
Michael.
Yes, get us back on track, sir.
For owls, does anyone know the word for owls?
I actually do.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Yes, go
But
ahead.
I'll let Travis
Quite
go
classy.
Oh, no.
It
after
is
you,
a-
Aaron.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh? Yeah, it's a parliament.
A parliament of owls.
As a contrast to that,
Mhm.
a group of baboons is known as a congress.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, especially when you compare the European parliamentary system to the American congressional system.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they're pretty much equal at this point in time.
Wow.
It's UK isn't doing a whole lot better than us. Matter of fact, moving on from politics. Yeah.
The dramatic gopher sound. What's a group of
Okay.
gophers?
Oh, that's
the underground.
that's a. I know this one. It's not a peck.
It's not on my list.
Hold on, let me
It's
do
not
the
in my
song.
list.
Greasy, grimy gopher. Wait, no, that's
Cubicle?
a cubicle.
Yeah, cubicle. Because anybody who's ever worked in an office space, they got all these guys groundhogging up out of their cubicles.
I want to say it begins with a P. Hey, there's a picture of Michael on his signing today. Well, his friend's signing, where he went and hung out with his friend. You want to give a quick shout out to your buddy?
Oh, sure. Shout out to my buddy. He was doing a signing today, Joseph Leo Hickey III. He's a poet. I did some of his book covers for him. We also he's a former alumnus of the same college that I went to, and that's where we met. And now I ended up doing some book covers for him. So
Do you
shout
have
out
one?
to.
Do you have one on hand?
Let me see. I might have a few. This is one of his latest ones. This is I Know Nothing But Miracles. This is.
When you did that cover?
I did this cover, yeah. Walt Whitman Speaks to the Modern World.
Very nice. Did you know what a group of poets is called?
What is a group of poets called?
A dreary.
A dreary.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Absolute bullshit, but I'm friggin' starting that.
You know what? That's a good one. And I was looking up. I was quite surprised because I was looking up if there was a word for a group of authors, and it doesn't.
Oh, it's
exist.
an asylum.
An asylum.
I just
What do you
love
guys think?
that he's pulling this out, and I'm good with an asylum because I know enough authors to
asylum.
go, fitting, probably not wrong.
I was thinking a scribble or a scrawl.
Oh, I like a scribble also.
Oh.
See, but an asylum, when you claim asylum, it's an escape
true.
from your problems. And that also relates, giving asylum kind of a layered meaning of they're all a bunch of crazy bastards.
Well, that's
And
where you
also-
store crazy people.
It's where you... see, Word to Win throws in an anthology of authors. That's a good one, too.
That's a
Oh,
wonderful
that's-
one. That's a glorious one. Word to Win.
Well, what do you know? If Ellen Page were to clone herself, we would have Ellen Book.
Unless she just did it once, then
Ellen
it'd be...
pamphlet before that.
There we go. That's where I was going to go with it. If she only did it once, it'd be an Ellen pamphlet.
Hmm. And I also visited another author friend of mine that I should mention, Brian Nowak, who is a horror author, and he's fresh in my mind considering we're in the spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Brian Nowak as well. Check him out. Brian the Writer is his blog and his handle on a lot of things. Check him out. He does spooky stuff. He put out a mystery recently.
You know, speaking of this, now, Michael, you're not going to be with us on Halloween, but we do have a show going on Halloween. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct.
You're going to be off partying somewhere, right?
Yeah, I might be hanging out with some buddies.
Well, I want to let people know about our next handful of episodes. After this comes merchandising, but next week we'll be recording 2 of them, Cryptozoology and Writer Tech, and then on Halloween, Supernatural Influences and Ghost Stories, where I'm hoping to bring in some real-life encounters with us as authors, and maybe just tell those stories on air.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which means if you're a cynic like me, you got to actually act like you buy this. Buy into it. And I will that night, just because it's a special night where I'll be all sugared up.
Spooky.
Eating all my candy so I can go buy more the next day on sale for discount prices.
That's when I buy my Halloween candy.
I've got to finish up the stuff I bought
November
last year.
1st.
November 1st, that's right. That's when I buy my Easter. No, that's when I finish my Easter candy.
Oh, what was it, Peeps that went out of business?
Yeah, indeed.
That's what you call a group of marshmallow a peep.
I was looking up to see if there was a collective noun for ghosts, but it does not exist.
A haunting.
Haunting.
A haunting. That's a good one. Is that true?
Is now.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are on the same. I'm all for it. Boom, stamp it, send it out.
I feel like we should be writing these down. Now, what do we
I'll
like?
write it
The
down.
Asylum of Authors, Anthology of Authors, or
Anthology.
What was the third one? A scribble. I think we could get a scribble of line artists.
That's true. A scribble, an anthology, or an asylum.
A sketch of artists.
Sketch of artists.
A palette of our artists.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, thank you.
Brilliant palette. Palette is very good.
Yeah, I think that branches across more as an umbrella, covers more.
Well, I mean, if we're going to do that, then it would be a fifth of artists. Because
I'll drink to that with my writer's tear.
A chapter of authors, says Spacey Tracy.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that's when we
not bad.
finally organize. Yeah, like again, you might as well just call it a clowder of artists or authors or both.
A table of contents of authors.
an index.
Ooh, an index. This is just a lot of fun. I wonder who
Those are
got to
nonfiction
make all these
writers.
decisions back in the day. What a fun job.
Well, there was a Spanish king. He had a list.
By the way, a quick shout out to thank you for that host. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Woo.
Any excuse to take a drink of the writer's tears. Did you guys see that's what I was pouring tonight as I was we were rolling through the intro, my bottle of writer's tears. It's actually a very decent whiskey. It's an Irish whiskey, and it's beautiful. And my address is in the content beneath the video, so you know where to send decent Irish whiskeys.
Ooh. Maybe we can get a sponsor.
Rise and scotches to Aaron. He likes his
Those are both
liquor like
whiskeys,
it
by the
out of
way.
a peat bog.
Those are both whiskeys, by the way.
Oh, I know.
It's but yeah, it's I'm not a fan of American. This is hard to say. When it comes to bourbons, I'm not a fan of Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, unless if we hit like their black barrel stuff or their black label stuff. At that point in time, but their mid-shelf stuff just isn't to my palate. So we could call a drunk tank of authors.
A drunk tank.
If you go by the
But I
Hemingway
believe that's only taken for drunks.
Oh. I thought it was a meeting of drunks.
Oh. No, it's a meeting of alcoholics. Drunks just drink because it's fun.
That's right. Drunks don't have
Or
meetings.
a lush.
Ooh, a lush of...
A bibble.
Oh. Of priests? Who are also drunk?
Irish priests. With the
I
Irish
think bibble means drink.
Was that 1 or 3 B's?
3 B's.
3 B's.
3
So
B's.
B-I-B-B-B. Ellie.
B-B-B-I.
It's an extra long bibble.
Bibble.
Well, they are drunk priests. What do you want from them? Okay. So flipping us back onto the topic here. What's some other common ones? What do you call a group of giraffes?
I would imagine a herd, but it could be
Now,
something.
you imagine giraffes do not exist, sir.
Those are just very tall deer.
It's a mythological creature. Come on. It's got horns, spots, a 20-foot neck, 10-foot feet, and it eats leaves from trees. Come on.
All right, I found it.
And
What are your guys' final guesses?
an imagination of giraffes, according to Aaron.
Imagination. A stilt is a good one. No, there's three terms. We have a tower, a herd,
Okay.
or a corps. C-O-R-P-S.
It's interesting. It's like military wildlife.
So, like, the Marines and giraffes are both cores.
Yeah, the giraffe corps.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun.
dun.
Mhm.
You ever heard a noise that a giraffe makes?
I have not.
Well, when you're...
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
What
true.
was that noise again? One more time. You're breaking up.
This is where we lose everybody listening to the podcast.
I believe that is our new ringtone, sir.
Yo, make
For
that,
sale.
make that the new
at Patreon.
subscribe noise. Yeah.
Hey, no. You get that ringtone if you subscribe to the Patreon. 99 cents.
Yeah,
There
99
we
cents.
go.
You get the bamboozled giraffe ringtone.
You get bamboozled.
You should hear me do a peacock, and then you should hear me do an impression of one.
Now, you know what a collective of peacocks is, right?
Oh, wait.
Is it a bevy?
No.
I
I
know this
I was
one.
thinking of flamingos.
No, it's a drag race.
Oh,
No way.
Oh, my God, no.
What?
It is a pride of peacocks.
Oh.
I have a muster.
It's a pageant of peacocks.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Or bedlam.
So- it's got-
Ostentation.
So it's got more makeup than a drag race. An ostentation.
An ostentation is what I found.
My wife in the background did bring up that it is a flamboyance of peacock, or a flamboyance
Of
of
flamingos.
flamingos.
I remember that one, yes.
Words are so much fun. I really
They are
look
fun
forward
as-
to a few years from now where the pendulum swings in the other direction. We can start using them like we're using tonight, where somebody's going, jerk, every time we say the certain words.
Oh, did I hurt somebody's feelings? Oh.
Let's see.
Probably.
What are some... Can we talk about some of the words that we've adapted for our own books?
Do we want to go there now, or do we have a few more common ones to cover?
Well, like
Especially-
ferrets.
What is a ferret?
A fair.
No, not what
It's
is
a business of ferrets.
It is.
A business.
Mm-hmm.
Porcupine. Do we know porcupine?
Ooh.
A prickle.
I imagine it's a quill or a quiver.
It is
quiver.
It is a prickle. Travis was correct.
Where do one ask?
Now, okay.
What is
now,
a group
question,
of
Do
feelings?
you split them in threes or do you cut
What
them
is
in
the
half?
group of feelings?
At Capella University, you're in control of your education. With the game-changing FlexPath format, you can set your own deadlines and move at your own pace. The faster you move, the more you save. Visit capella.edu to learn more.
With MailChimp, you get a whole lot more than a URL. You get an all-in-one marketing platform to help drive sales. That means you can connect your data to make more informed, smarter decisions. And you get powerful automation tools like our Customer Journey Builder to ensure you never miss an opportunity to turn shoppers into loyal customers. So if you're ready to integrate your marketing and boost sales, get started today at MailChimp.com/smartmarketing. MailChimp, built for growing businesses.
Feelings.
An affront.
An emotion.
It's where's my rim shot? There we go.
That's
have
good. I like to
Keep my mouse right over that the whole time tonight. But yeah, that's good. Okay. So yeah, we can move into fictional ones. I'm sure we'll keep jumping back to real ones. And to preface this, in book 1 of Portals, I believe it's book 1, might have been book 2. Book 2, I believe. There's a point in time where, and we discussed the pronunciation of this, and I forgot what we came up with. So, Wyvern, as in the dumb, smaller, dragon-like creatures. According to some mythology, they may have a poisonous stinger on their tail. Generally, they only have 4 limbs, 2 wings, 2 back legs. But you do what you want to do. But it's essentially it's a Walmart dragon. Let's just put it that way.
I love this type
Quick point of order. If you had the ability right now to press a button and all birds got arms, would you or would you not?
No.
I said no the first time.
Have you
But-
reconsidered your position?
But
I've reconsidered. Yeah, why not?
well, it depends. Do they get upper body strength with it? Because otherwise, there's going to be a lot of birds trapped in trees, and we're going to have to give them the ability to swear to go with the arms just for that very reason.
Many birds can't swear. I mean, you've got crows, you've got ravens, you've got parrots.
Mine
Can
a
they
bird.
flip the bird?
And I'm pretty sure all birds are just swearing at us all the time. We hear tweet, 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 but it really goes, screw you, get out of my lawn.
It's actually their language being bleeped out.
Uh-oh.
Much like the Star Wars original trilogy.
That's right. R2-D2 originally spoke, but he was filthy mouthed, and they had to bleep it all out.
Oh, fun fact.
So, I had to figure out what a group of wyvern were called. Wyvern? I guess we looked this up. Wyvern.
I believe it's wyvern. but-
Say again?
Wyvern.
Wyvern.
That's my belief, but, you do you.
I could be wrong.
So whatever you like it.
Here's a fun fact. Because of a childhood show, when I was just a wee lad, all my life till just a month or two ago, I referred to news, as in the horned wildebeest-like creatures, as gnu's. Because there was something called the Great
Space Coaster,
where no news was good gnu's with Gary Gnu. Hold on, I've got a sound for this because we have a moderator named Gary.
This is Gary Gnu, and no news is good news.
So, yeah, until a few months ago where I said it on air while streaming and somebody said, that's pronounced, and they typed it phonetically, and I'm like, what?
Wait, that cannot be possibly true because that would mean gnomes aren't pronounced that way.
This is some gnarly knowledge you're dropping.
Could even be good knowledge.
Knowledge.
So, yeah, I went looking for the proper term for a group of these Walmart dragons, and I couldn't find one, so I had to make up my own. and I don't even remember what I ended up with. I would have to go
No,
look it up in
the
my own book.
anticipation.
I
Oh,
know.
we had suggested like a wing or a flight or a
Right.
squadron.
Well, what I looked at,
Mhm.
since they're largely scavenger creatures, and that's what they were doing, they were circling overhead above a battleground. I was looking in things for vultures and other carrion birds.
Right.
Which, by the way, fun
Strangely
fact.
enough, a group of vultures is known as the Beatles, per Robin Hood and the Disney.
Call them a Walmart where wyverns. There's no idea where I was going. Oh, scavengers. Here's a fun fact. The American bald eagle, that noble bird that is a symbol of our country, largely a
Yes.
scavenger. They're in our area, often see them eating roadkill. This is one of their primary sources of food. Yes, they might pick out a fish or a small animal, but generally scavengers.
They also pick up turtles, fly them up really, really high, give the turtles the taste of flight, and then drop them on rocks.
That is so sad.
For who? The turtle or the eagle? Because the eagle just got a nice, tasty turtle inside because nobody else can get through that tank.
I guess that's true.
So,
Different.
what do we call a
strokes.
group of turtles?
I believe they are called ninjas.
Could be.
I've got it.
What do you got?
A bale.
A bale of turtle. Well, that
A
sounds
bale of-
horrible.
Yes, because they're always getting out of jail.
Is it BALE or BAIL?
The first one.
Okay. As in somebody took a bunch of turtles and strapped them together and put them on the back of a cart.
Yeah,
There.
as you do.
And their little teeny legs came up and the whole
When
thing
you're
just
in-
walks away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They
With
put-
modern turtles, they just do a ninja backflip off the back of the wagon and
Yeah,
cartwheel
you can't
away.
stop. Yeah.
On that note, do you guys stop for turtles when you see them on the street?
I do.
I mean, if I can, yeah, if I can, of course.
Okay. Now, do you take them all the way back to where they started with, or take them all the way across?
Oh, no. I stop so I don't hit them. I don't get out of my car and pick up something that might be like, I'm going to bite the shit out of you, you bastard, for touching me.
You want to straddle.
How
the-
slow are you?
Mentally or
Don't
physically
get
or
me wrong,
driving? Where are we
if
going
it's
with
in a
this?
stream.
I was
But,
born in
yeah.
Florida, and there are some snapping turtles there, the size of dogs.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
grew up in Florida, and they have something called an alligator turtle down there, and they have a very
correct.
long neck, and they have a very long tail. And yeah, if you're going swimming in the canals, which is never a bright idea, but we're Floridians and kids. They also had gar apparently, and apparently those could be a bit bitey.
yes.
And they also have
Alligator.
alligators, and they also have
Oh, okay. Because the ones we see in Virginia are about yay big.
right. It's different if you're like, oh, it's a common box turtle. Well, that's one thing. But yeah, when you see something that's got a 6-inch neck and a 18-inch
Can
shell,
climb.
Right. You got to hold on to your ding-a-ling.
That's right. Thank you. It's very true.
They can climb. They
Like goats?
What they do is they take their big turtle claws and they hook them on, like, say, the
Chain link fences?
the fence, and then their neck will extend to its full length, and then they'll clap their jaws. Then they release their paddlers, and the body will then follow up the length of the neck, and then they repeat the process.
I
until
believe
they
I've seen
swam
that
over.
interactive documentary. What was it? The amazing Mario. Oh yeah, Super Mario Brothers, where they spin on the chain link fences they're climbing up and down.
Oh.
He's not wrong. Damn it. So, what fictional...
About it being an interactive documentary.
That's a great way to do a video. I think I did go with a wing
A wing.
of wyverns.
Okay.
So,
That's good. That's
Yeah.
solid.
Weirdwin is backing us up on the turtle knowledge. By the way, he said a group of turtles is called a soup.
A soup.
I thought that was a single turtle.
It's well, I guess it depends how big your family is.
Depends if you're faster than an eagle.
Well, then you're getting foul and you got to cook them all good. They can carry salmonella.
I did some research.
Those are little salmons, right?
They are. What do you do research with, Michael?
I did some research for World of the Orb. I had a few instances where I had a group of fantasy creatures that I got to name, and the first one was my group for shark people, and these are humanoid sharks, and they existed as a kind of a scary hazard beneath the galleon when our characters had joined up with a group of ice pirates. And they were called a shiver of shark people, and that was
I like that.
was simply lifted from the word for a group of sharks, and I think it also complemented the tone of the sight of them as well.
No, isn't a group of sharks called a school?
You would
No,
think.
it's a shiver.
Is it?
Yeah, it is a shiver.
I wonder if that
Yeah.
relates to Shiver Me Timbers, the infamous
Maybe.
pirate exclamation.
More likely that they're going to shiv you. They have been found with knives and all other manner of things, especially the rough crowd that hangs out in the prison yard.
Here's another fun fact from my childhood when I was a wee lad. They had a
Yes.
game that came out from the movie Jaws. And it was a plastic shark that you poured all these plastic things in. And there was a pistol and a hammer and a tire. And each person had a long plastic hook. And you had to reach in and pull things out of the shark's stomach through its mouth before the jaws clamped down. And
So it's like Operation.
ish, yeah. But it was
like
not
sideways.
electrical or electronic at all. It was strictly
Mechanical.
mechanized. I don't know if you...
Keep in mind, board games have not advanced in the last 20 years.
Okay, this was 40 years ago. But go on.
so that was the height of it.
But, so no, a shiver of shark men, shark women, shark thems. By the way...
I have one...
Oh, go ahead.
Another one that I did. I had manticores in a forested section of our character's adventure, and my manticores are based off of jungle cats, and so I adapted the word for a group of tigers, which was an ambush.
That's good. I like that. Now, did they still have the scorpion tail and the bat wings?
They had the scorpion tail, but no wings.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they're differently abled manticores.
Yes, they have no flights and no human face as exists in some.
Oh, that's true.
in
They
some,
do that, don't they?
Yeah. Sometimes a manticore has all sorts of parts on them, but mine I kept quite streamlined. It's just a big cat with a scorpion barb.
So just the barb on the end of a cat tail, correct?
No, it's a plaited tail as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of segmentation there for spice.
What would you call a group of skeletons?
A spook.
Well, boneyard.
A rattle.
A rattle. I like rattle better than... But Aaron, I thought of boneyard also, but I like a rattle of skeletons.
So do I.
Yeah, that's good. Now, what about zombies? What do you call a group of zombies?
A horde.
It actually is a horde.
Yeah. Yeah, that fits.
Or a stagger.
A what?
Well, it's a horde, but another great one I heard was called a siege.
A siege. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, because you're under siege when the zombies attack.
That's true.
So now, before the show, we did talk about what you call a group of dragons, and there was a few answers to that one. Michael, do you want to go over those real quick, and then we'll pick out some other...
Yeah, we had a wing, we had a were, or a wire, I'm not sure. It's W-E-Y-R, I think it was. Let me double check. Yeah, where, W-E-Y-R.
A hoarding would be good on that one.
A what?
A hoarding.
Oh, a hoarding. Oh, yeah,
A
of
hoarding,
course.
yeah.
Which for the treasure.
If I may, I want to read two comments that aren't necessarily related, but I'm a sucker for the chat. Weirdwin chimes in earlier. It depends how big the turtle is. They found a 100-pound alligator turtle in Florida.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then
What?
this
That's comparable to a hogzilla.
Yes.
this next comment ties into Aaron that I've been wanting to ask him since we came up with this topic. Weirdwind says, one game my players stumbled across a group of human-sized otters wearing camo and carrying machine guns on a safari for giant spiders. Now, Michael, before I turn to
I
Aaron,
have introduced both of those in my books.
Yeah.
before I turn to Aaron here, what is a group of otters called? Or Aaron, do you know the actual name for a group of otters?
I believe it is a blotter. Because if you have a spot on a piece of paper, that's what the blotter is there for.
So it's a BL otter, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes.
And then once Michael gets us the actual answer, I will address a question to you there, Aaron.
I have it. There are 4.
Okay?
There's
Not
a
3,
bevy,
not 5, but 4.
Bevy, bevy,
Mhm.
a family, a raft,
Oh,
or a romp.
well, there we go. There we go. Yes.
Sharing some similarities with the penguin there.
I love the idea.
Did you know
of-
that otters hold hands when they sleep so they don't get pulled apart by the tides?
They do, and they're also
That's
well
darling.
known for mugging other small furry animals who come too close to the water side. Now,
They
Aaron,
also, I believe, have a skin, a natural pocket in their where
Where
they
they-
keep
and
their
they-
favorite rock.
correct, and that rock is used for opening clamshells and oysters and such.
What
Now-
an interesting adaptation.
Well, no, like the movie Zootopia, okay?
Mm.
When you see all the predator creatures, the otter is in there as one of the ones that goes nuts.
That's right.
Spoilers. But you don't necessarily think of it that way because they're cute and furry and do cute little human things with their hands.
yeah. That's
So,
true.
Aaron, in your book,
Sure.
I think the
Uh-huh.
one you're writing now,
Yes, or one of the ones I'm running out, yes.
you have space otters.
I do indeed.
What do you
I love otters.
What are you calling the group of otters? Yeah, Aaron and I will send otter pictures back and forth to each other. We're adorable that way.
I have a species of anthropomorphic otters, or a species that looks like anthropomorphic otters. They are known as the Lorin. They are from the planet of Dwarwall. But it's one of those. The otter word is like dropping the G word. Ginger. You can't say ginger.
Oh.
By the way, there is a series of videos out there done 10 years ago it had redheads talking to other, and they're like, "What's up, my ginger?" And nobody else was allowed to use the word. And you had folks from Asia with up like, "What's up, my ninja?" But nobody else could use that word. Yeah, fun. It's so what's a group of these guys called?
The Lorin. I have not actually used it in there, but it was something I was thinking about as to, because once you get anthropomorphized, everybody refers to themselves as some variation of the people.
Right.
So it's kind of tricky because we're not going to go, oh yeah, there's a pod of such and such, or there's a nesting.
Well, with humans, I often refer to them as there's a mob of people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's an adequate description for a group of people in the same
Yes, because they
place.
eat Italian food. We're going to do low-level crime, and things like that.
But they do it synchronized. It's very organized.
Right. Often leave a horse head in the bed.
Oh my god. What's a group of horse heads called?
Soup?
A stampede. Well, it can't be a stampede because there's no feet, but
Glue? So what word were you going to use for your group of Leorans?
I have not decided as of yet.
Very good. You have any options on the table? Is this something we can discuss?
Absolutely. So it's one of those. It's got to be some variation of the people, but because they all wear translators, they don't speak English. Their vocal cords aren't developed for that. Everybody's got a kind of a throat. Most of the other species outside of human have got a translator, like throat mic, that exists there, and it instantly translates whatever vocal sounds there are. So, one of the things that I want to get in there is that the translator doesn't always get it right because there'll be similar words. So when they talk about, oh, we're known as such, or not necessarily that, but they'll say, oh, yeah, can I get crackers or biscuits or some other variation?
Crisps,
what would they call them? Oh, a clamshell. You want a clamshell? Yeah, clamshell. Like like sugar, full fats and stuff. Oh, cookies. Yeah, that's what I said. Clamshells.
I like that.
But it's just to add a little bit of flavor into how the translators works. They're not smart. They're just fast
the
and
translator's
repetitive.
not smart.
Right.
The species is. By the way, Weird Wind suggests calling them a nope. A nope of Leorans.
Now, the other, I've got the cabrins, which are small cat-monkey creatures. Those are known as a slumber.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, because if you don't give them a task, they're just going to lie down and go to sleep.
Right.
So they're just like regular employees at most places.
That is exactly right. That's what I modeled them off of the old cartoons with the monkey bellhops. Slightly ADHD, super reliable on a given task, but horrible at it.
Here's another fun otter fact.
Okay.
When they're floating, they have some different names. And one of them is a log jam. One word. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, the last log jam I had, I needed some X-Lax for.
And a plunger afterwards.
Da-da-da.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that. I got you.
You gotta keep that at the ready tonight.
My bad. My bad.
Don't invite me to a show if you want me to do this.
So,
but in that same vein, I do have a couple ones that I did use. Like, Airy is a legionnaire. When referring to the collective, it's always legion, not legionnaires.
mm-hmm.
Kind of like merchant marines are mariners, not marines.
Very nice.
And it's just one of those things that I wanted to add that kind of flavor. No. Yes, I'm a legionnaire, but we are legion.
Right.
One of the things that we ran into is I made the collective noun concept with the AI. They're never that close together. There's so few of them. They don't have a collective, but I did think of fleet because they're all ship-based.
Right.
And the idea that, rather than saying the people, they say the fleet.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Or the fleethood. Because I'm thinking like brotherhood or sisterhood, but I realize some take masculine or feminine pronouns. But, yeah, I don't want to throw too much at you because I'm not trying to choose what you do.
You got to figure this out tonight. I want it on my desk by the morning.
I need copy by 4 a.m. so it could go to the press at 6.
That's the press. I was writing my current book, which is based on cryptozoology, and so I have animals that may be real, and I'm choosing some collective nouns for that. One of the animals is very much like an aquatic mammoth, and I had a group of them, so I ended up calling them a herd, because a herd being a land animal in the sea kind of activated my fantasy delight senses. But it also worked out quite well because the way it was described, it was actually quite seal-like, and a group of seals can also be called a herd as well. So I thought that just landed on both of those wavelengths.
That reminds me. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, well, you mentioned herd, but you said mammoths and things like that. You could also do parade.
A parade.
A parade. Elephants on parade.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I had, there was Now, collective nouns can also be, not just for animals, but I had, or not just one specific type of animal, but I had like a whole sort of like Prison Break sequence of like a ton of animals that are sort of like writhing in this one mass, and I called that like a team, TEM.
Oh, no, an ark.
TEEM.
As in no, an ark, like Noah's Ark.
Right.
They're all teeming in this one little small space.
But it describes like the movement as well. So in one way you can choose one of your collective nouns is to sort of look at the movement.
That's true.
Of the group.
I feel like this is something we should have covered like 20 minutes ago with deciding what to do. But I'm curious.
I've been having a great time, and this is
no,
delectable for word nerds.
Because we're running out of time for this episode, but I want to hear, if you have it in your head, some of the creatures that you've brought into play in Winslow Hoffner, and what a group of those creatures would be called. So, can you name off a few of the... And by the way, once again, what do you call your genre for Winslow?
Folkloric fantasy is what I ended up calling.
So, in your folkloric fantasy, what are some of the creatures that you've brought into play in your book?
Right. I've had some whale-like creatures. There's one mystery whale that's mentioned at the very end of the first book, and we see it at the beginning of the second book, or parts of it. It remains a little bit of a mystery, but it's called simply a pod, even though it has sort of a collage of different animal qualities on it. The one that I just talked about is a cryptid called Trunco, and that is what I deemed a herd based off of its elephantine creatures that it shares aesthetics with. A lot of the other creatures remain solitary, though, so that makes it hard to think, at least on the spot.
I think when writing a fantasy creature, it's almost better to give them a relatable group name. Because the creature itself is almost enough difference to throw in a brand new word. Might be fun, but it won't stick in the head.
Yeah,
well,
it needs to
but
be... Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The advantage you have with like Winslow is Winslow he can name these things with the off-the-ball things. It's like, oh, why is this called a waddle? Have you seen it move?
Take a look at them. Look at what they're doing.
Things like that. So, make it relatable. But also have a little bit of fun because everything's going through his lens of experience, and he's the only one that's really seen these things. Even in our shadow organization, he's writing up whatever report he's got to write, and he goes, there was a waddle of friggin' such and such. A waddle? They don't even walk. Nah, but when they're underwater, you see them that way, and they kind of waddle like penguins.
Yeah, exactly.
This might be something to take into consideration if you decide to do a book 3, where he maybe sees multiples of these things together, and you can have a little fun with that. We're going to wrap this up now, though, because, hold on, we're going to wrap this up now. I want to let everybody know you are always welcome to email us. I'm going to check the mailbag right now, see if we have anything in there, and see if we have anything to read off for us here.
Where can we email to get that?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked that. That is at writenightshow@gmail.com. That's write as in writing, WRITE, night, NIGHT, show@gmail.com. And you can send in comments or thoughts about the episodes that you hear on the podcast. You can send in birthday wishes, messages to other people you'd like to hear it. And our next topic on our next show will be merchandising that we're going to discuss on our next episode of Right Night. And don't forget to check us out at twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk to catch us live, or the other podcasts, Stealing for Survival, the fantasy apocalyptic game that we play, as well as Talk of the Tavern, where we do toast tangents and topics. I do want to thank everybody who, first of all and foremost, joined us and jumped in. Weirdwin, I really appreciate all your comments here. Thank you very much. And
Yeah, good stuff.
I want to also make sure I throw a quick shout out to our supporters on Patreon, Triple U and Ethan Strauss in particular, for supporting us every month there, as well as all the folks who threw bits such as Spacey Tracy. Thank you very much for that. Everybody who has subscribed, followed, and in general participated in any way. You guys have a great night, and we will catch you again on the next one.
Thank you for joining author Travis I. Sivart and the other writers, content creators, and all around him.
At Capella University, education is as smart as the world around us. With the FlexPath format, you can take classes at your own pace, set your own deadlines, and even leverage your previous experience to move faster. Now that's smart. Learn more at capella.edu.